Welcome to 0 to 60 on the Believe Network. I'm your host, Matt McChesney, as always. And today's show, I don't know if I could be more excited or more honored to be up at the University of Colorado, my alma mater, to talk with the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, in the lobby, the recruiting lobby.
Recruiting lounge. Yeah. This is where we close.
I love it. I came up and Coach Phillips was up here getting his nails done. Looking good.
Yeah, we do that every week.
Yeah, looking good and feeling good. So hey, it's so great to have you on the show. Great to be here, Coach. A lot of our viewership and a lot of our fans here are proud Colorado alum and people from the state. Just talk about your first year in Colorado. I know last year you stepped off the plane and walked into Folsom at midnight. That had to be a pretty surreal.
Unbelievable, man.
Talk about your first year in Colorado.
The fan base is tremendous. The hope and the desire and the want is phenomenal. Everywhere we've gone, everywhere we frequented, coaches included, and my family, we're in love. We're in love with Boulder, Colorado. We're in love with Breckenridge. We're in love with Vail. We're in love with everything you can think of around here in Denver. We absolutely enjoy it immensely. You're talking about most of these guys from the South. And to come to a place where God had to send us, because there's no way we would have said, yeah, I'm going to go there. So we love it, man. We're thankful to have the opportunity.
Snowmobiling this last weekend.
Every weekend down there. And, Shiloh, he snowboards. Shador keeps it safe because we don't want our quarterback doing nothing crazy. So he's on a snowmobile. He's taking his lineman with him, and he's having a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the next part I want to talk to you about here is not only are you an incredible coach and a Hall of Famer, an incredible player, but you're a father first.
Yeah.
And you talk about it all
first and foremost.
And I'm a father. My son, Nicholas, who you've met, who's been up here several times.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
You know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm thinking.
I know.
You know what I'm thinking. Yeah, he's been here. He's definitely been here.
And so, but talking about Shador and Shiloh, being able to not only coach them and push them up the field, but then watch just the growth.
And they're ballers, man. Let's start off with they're ballers. It ain't no dad ball. Never been dad ball. I've been coaching from youth on it. I'm harder on them than I'm probably are on everyone else because I know the expectation, and I don't expect them to be the best, but I expect them to give me their best. And that's our deal. That's been our deal from day one. But these kids are very impactful to this program. And the attitude that Shiloh brings in the secondary when he's on the field or off the field, you've seen it in the UCLA game. When he's off the field, things go crazy. And they take a left. And he missed a couple games with I think a lacerated kidney last year in Shador. That speaks for itself. We know what he's about when he's on the field. And the thing about this young man, he never complains. He don't point the finger, and he's had 4 different coordinators in 4 years, and that's because we always want to up it, and the coordinators that he had at Jackson are here, Coach Pollock and Brett. I mean, they're here. So it's been phenomenal for him to be successful with 4 different schemes, but he does not complain, and he has a tremendous relationship with Pat, and I can't wait to see what they do because I can see the creativity and the relationship that they have is going to be phenomenal.
Absolutely. And look, last year, watching Shador, the toughness aspect of watching that young man play, and the one thing that really resonated with me, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it, CSU in Folsom right out there, struggled the whole game. 6 lays into him and kind of gets the best of him. Shador gets up, smiles at him, spits blood, and you wipe it off with your sleeve.
Right.
And he goes out there and wins in double overtime and throws up the watch. As a father and a coach, was that the moment where you were, I know you already knew, but was that another step in just the growth and maturation process?
Everything you're seeing, we've been there before.
Right.
Everything you're seeing with those 2 young men, we've done it before. You're just getting a chance to see it in a Colorado uniform. But everything that we've seen, we know. Like I'm mic'd every game, so for the documentary and everything. So you could hear me. You could replay the documentary. When we got the ball back, I said he's going to drive us down. We're going to win. And I told Coach Kelly that was sitting right beside me. We're going to win because I know how he performs when we're on stage, like at the highest level, when it's pressure. He don't feel it. He applies pressure. And I just know my boys, man. I really do. And this kid is unbelievable.
Travis Hunter, all right, two-way superstar, a kid who, if you know, he was walking by us in the garage out there. You'd never know Travis Hunter just walked by. Super humble.
That's who he is.
Super hungry. I mean, he's him. Everyone knows that. But have you ever seen? I mean, other than when you look at Boulder, have you ever seen a two-way player like that before? I'm
not going to say I have, because Travis has so many intangibles. Not only is he a great player, but Travis is a great young man. He's a great young man. He's the man. Travis, take the crib. If you just take the crib for the weekend, if that's what you want, you know, he's just a good human being, and his upside is phenomenal. And he loves the game. He loves the practice. He loves to compete, and he loves the challenges.
Now, do you guys sit around and I know the future is fleeting. You know, you're only promised tomorrow, or you're not promised tomorrow. You got to live in the present. Right. I operate. I know that's the way that you operate. Right. But with the potential of having Shedeur and Travis both in the Heisman race going into next year, that's got to be pretty exciting. Well,
it's not only exciting; it's great for the rest of the team. Forget the Heisman. Let's think about where they're rated in the draft. The guys are like 1 and 2, or both in the top 5 for certain. You know how many scouts gonna be on those sidelines for spring, for fall?
Coming to watch them, they're going to see.
Yeah, but they're going to get to see our other kids. They're going to get to see the linemen that we brought in, the defensive ends, the pass rushers, some guys in the secondary. I mean, they're going to get to see the tight ends. They're going to get to see everything that we feature. Our wonderful 2 of our kickers that are phenomenal. 3 of them are phenomenal. They're going to get to see all those components of this team, and that's what it's all about. No matter what they really came to, but then when they see that, they're going to say, wow, did you see that receiver that Shedeur is throwing to? Who is that? Let me find him, because this kid is unbelievable. Like, that's what you're going to see. And it's going to be a draft factory, and we're going to win.
Absolutely. And look, I just got done talking to Coach Loadhold. He came up and we got a chance to talk for about 10 minutes. You know, obviously coming from Oklahoma and that offensive line factory there, that hire is out of the home.
He's a pro.
Talk about Coach Loadhold.
You got to understand, he's a pro.
Yep.
We're building an environment where these guys have matriculated from the NFL as a coach or as a player that come to really give these guys direction. It's hard to tell a guy where to go that you hadn't been. Those directions are tough. Facts. I'm trying to tell you how to go and how to get there. I ain't been there myself. That's kind of tough. I can't tell you how to get to Vail unless I've been there. I can tell you what's all on the streets, the shopping, where to get the outfit. I can tell you all that because I've been there several times. And that's what we want this environment for our young men. So it's probably only 3 coaches on the staff that don't have NFL connections. So the rest of these guys, when they speak, these kids are like, give me more, coach. And they speak with a definitive voice that I've been there, I've done that, just shut up and listen, and I can get you there. I can navigate you there.
And that's such a huge point with this generation. You know, the I want it right now generation. In my opinion, the process is still the prize, because it teaches you that when you get there, you know, how to really go to work every day, because I truly believe the NFL is where the bag is. That's the ultimate goal for
kids. It's misconstrued these days, but it truly is where the bag is, and where longevity is, and where you can build and understand, and generational wealth is. It's not in the NIL. I love the NILs. And it's not even, let's stop talking about NIL, because I get tired of that, because there's only about 4 or 5 guys in college sports and women that you really recognize from NIL. That's it. Everything else is a collective. This is a pot of money that you've accumulated and you created for these young men, and you determine who gets what. That's what we're dealing with right now. We ain't dealing with no NIL. How do you have credibility or attractability coming out of high school? Who knows you? Well, I can put you in your whole uniform and take you down to the mall, and nobody would notice, but I'm going to give you $1 million. Come on. Let's earn it, man. Let's work and go. 100%. I don't mind you being comfortable, but I do mind you being filthy rich and you hadn't done that. Now, when you do something, please, when you do something and you make it happen, like some of these guys that are being hands with, like a quarterback, like you know what earn mean? Earned mean I know what I'm getting on Saturday. That's what earned mean. Earned mean I know exactly. I ain't got to guess. I know what I'm getting on Saturday.
That's what your contract and on Sunday means.
Yeah, but everybody want to get paid, but they don't want what comes with. No. They don't want what comes with getting paid, because now you want to be a professional. Can I treat you like that? Because professionals get cut
every day.
Yeah, professionals get walking papers
every day.
Professionals get chastised from the media, and this has been a sacred place for college athletes, because the media don't really touch college athletes because they're kids. But now when that young man is getting compensated more than that writer or that blogger or that guy who has this podcast, and that guy's already a little sensitive because this college kid is making more money. So now he attacks him. So now that college kid, can he handle it? Can he handle looking at all that? Can he handle? He really can't. Now we're into a mental health situation. See, all this stuff lends to one another, man. And I'm praying for these kids. That's why we have so much that insulate these kids, that really speak to these kids and help these kids really journey through this adversity and the wealth that they've accumulated.
And the support staff you guys have here is
tremendous.
I mean, I think it's
tremendous.
The best in the country, top to bottom. Mm-hmm. After all the coaches I talked to and everybody I deal with down at 6-0, I mean, no one does it like you guys do it up here, just making sure that your guys come first.
We got to.
Now, all that being said, all right, moving on here, kind of away from some of those topics, but into a new era, but also an old one. I'm an old Big 12 guy. I played here from 2004. You know, the move to the Pac-12 was what it was. You got a year of that. Now you move back to the Big 12. You know, the three non-conference games, North Dakota State, on the road in Lincoln, on the road at CSU, those are going to be big.
Right.
Talk about those three. That the opener is going to kick ass, obviously. But then the two rivalry games stacked back.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think about the rest of those games. I think about that first one. Then I think about the next one. Then I think about the next one. But that first one is big, and we're preparing for that right now. Some guys like, oh, you on them real hard right now. No, we win now. We don't win in the fall. We don't win in the summer. We start winning right now. Winning starts now. Winning don't wait on you to feel like when you could address it or have it over for dinner or lunch or breakfast. Winning starts right now. The whole attitude, the whole way you work, the way you practice, the way you focus, the way you're detailed and detail oriented in the coaches. And one thing that I feel like we got it right with the staff. I feel like we got it right. I always say that Rod and our staff, biblical reference, they comfort me. These guys, I feel as though we 100% got it right. I really do. I'm sitting up there watching things that I didn't see. I'm watching places that we didn't go. I'm watching things happen in walkthroughs that are like, that's it. The details and the teaching and the just on the details of the little things and the commitment to excellence, man.
Maybe you can't describe it, but when you see it, you know it.
You know it. Right. And you know, when you see these big guys getting downfield in walkthroughs, when the linemen are running downfield 15 to 20 yards in walkthroughs, you're like, I had to yell at y'all last year to do that. Now you just, because it's a whole new game, it's a whole new day. Like, these guys are serious about going pro. And we've improved in every position. And all the starters that are returning, they're better. Because the scheme, because the thought process, because the familiarity that they have right now, they're better. So I can sit up here comfortably and say, at every position, we've gotten better.
Love it, man. At North Dakota State, that's coming down the pipe. But the spring weekend now is coming right around the corner. Right. Now, usually it's just a spring game. Mm-hmm. You know, 2 years ago at the spring game, it was like me and 15 other people. And then last year at the spring game, it was me and the entire state of Colorado and everybody on
and that's TV what we want.
Well, and that's what we want.
That's what we want.
But now you're revolutionizing that as you do. Talk about the spring weekend a little bit, as much as you can.
We want it to be a whole primetime weekend. We're branded it so everybody around the country knows, not just our fan base. We want to start out with a fashion show that involves everyone on campus, not all the student body, but of course the other athletes that are involved. We want those involved. We want Peggy. We want her to walk and do her thing. You know, we may put her in Louis. You just don't even know. I mean, and there's so many people that have reached out to involve themselves in what we're trying to accomplish here. Then we're going to do something with the donors. I think that Friday evening, Saturday morning, I'm going to do something with the alumni guys that played here before. I want to meet all you guys in the big meeting room, and let's talk about what has transpired and all of that. Game time, then a party with multiple DJs after the game. Then Sundays, like of course, multiple, maybe multiple. And Sunday, I want to have a brunch with the biggest 21 donors that we have. So it could be an intimate thing so they could really understand where we're going and how we're going to get there.
Man, Coach, you do understand that you are revolutionizing the way that the head coach position is being.
Well, that's what we do. Well, it's so many people say now sports is about business. So why don't we act like it? Amen. You know, just because I have the business acronym, don't criticize, you know, don't ostracize, but because I have that and I'm able to see through the smoke. And we got some surprises for the kids that they're going to be elated. They're going to be elated that weekend. I promise you.
And look, as a small business owner myself, I am constantly trying to learn from individuals like you and the ability to take that next step in business and really, you know, make a name for yourself off of your brand and things of that nature. When you're talking to your team about not only the importance, and you said this about your shoes, which, I mean, if you got a pair of 14s, I'm going to see Schmidt. But like, you know, you were talking about this, like the shoe only sells if you ball.
You're successful.
So is that, I know that's at the forefront of everything you tell them. And all this other stuff is smoke.
It don't matter.
Can you play?
You got a ball. Nothing that I've ever accomplished would have worked if I didn't ball. If I didn't put it on the line, if I didn't do what I did in the World Series, I would have been the guy that I was. If I didn't do what I did in the Super Bowl, or the journey to get us to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be sitting here today. We all have moments that we can reflect on right now. The difference is I maximize mine, every last one of them. And I want these young men to maximize theirs, but I want them not to make the mistakes when I took a left and should have stayed right. I want them to keep going forward and not digress backwards because of a family member. I want them to keep going and not move in another lane and stay in that slow lane. They don't have to get in that fast lane because of this young woman. I want to tell them about all the trials, tribulations, and pitfalls that our coaching staff and our not supporters, our people, I call them the big engines that are leading around here, the things that we came up against. We can't hide them from these young men. We want to be open and tell them because we don't want them to make the same mistakes that we made.
Yeah, and the experience can go a long way if you'll just listen, rather than just hear.
That's right.
That's one thing that, you know, that I try and talk to the young men at 6-0 about all the time. All right, a couple more questions here. Coach Prime joining us here on 0 to 60. And brother, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down with us. I want to talk about rivalry a little bit. Yeah. I came to this university to play in rivalry games. You know, whole families from Nebraska wanted to make sure that, you know, we kind of turned the tide on them when I was here, so on and so forth. I look at your staff and your friends primarily, and it's a bunch of Miami Hurricanes, and you're Florida State. Right? And like the National Football League, you find out real quick that your rivals turn into your teammates, turn into your boys. Right. Talk about rivalry a little bit and just, you know, Coach Sapp's going to be here.
Yeah. Those are my guys. You got to understand, we were friends before we chose colleges, and we were friends while we participated in colleges. So, like real knows real, we could be all on different teams in the state of Florida, but when we go to the next level, we're all Florida boys. So at the end of the day, the Florida boys are going to stick together. I think we have close to 20 Florida young men on this team, because there's something about the DNA down there that I love.
Different. That
is, you know, it's different. It's just different. And I absolutely adore it. But I love rivalries. I mean, I had to learn the history of rivalries with the Nebraskas. I didn't know anything about that till they told us, hey, you know, you can't wear red right now. Cool. I had to get all my red out of there because that was one of my favorite colors. I had to give that up. And now with this gentleman at Colorado State, he's forced it into a rivalry. I'm cool. I was cool, but he made it what it is, and I cannot wait. So I love that kind of stuff. You got to understand, I'm not one, and you would appreciate this. When I go out for a game, my normal ritual, and Neely can attest to this, I usually, from high school on, pros, I used to go out and jog around the field and get myself loose and get ready. So now that I couldn't run, so I used to walk around the field and get myself loose. Now I could jog a little bit, so I go to a certain place that I walk back around because I don't want to be offensive to the opposing team. But I'm ready to get down. I'm not ready to shake your hand, hug you, and lie to you and tell you how good your program is and kiss the baby. I'm not about that at that time. I'm ready to get down. So I'm not like a lot of these other coaches that I remember Chip Kelly, we were getting ready to play UCLA, and Coach Kelly came over. He said, Prime. I said, Coach, I'm sorry, I'm locked in, man. I'm in that mode. And he hugged me like, I'm not like the rest of these dudes, man. You're my guy. He said, now after the game, you can call me. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. But I'm telling you, I was like, Coach, you just know now, I'm locked in right now. So, and he's my guy. So I'm not that type of guy. And some of these guys take it the wrong way, but when I'm on that grass, man, it's time.
It's business.
It's time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't want my kids to see me all hugged up and booed up with the competitor. Like, come on, man, I'm ready to get down. I better not see them hugged up and booed up with one of the guys on the other team.
Well, I don't think we're going to have any problems hugging up and booing up TSU and Nebraska.
Exactly.
And I love that. The rivalries is what has made college football so great throughout its history and the individual players. We got a couple more questions for you here, Coach, and then we'll get you out of here. Off the football a little bit, but still very relevant. The spring game's coming up. You said that maybe Wayne will be here and so on and so forth.
We never know. Honestly, man, we never know who's going to be here. We don't know. We get calls at the last minute. And some people have come that you guys don't even know about because they wanted to stay private. So they may watch the game from up here or go up into my box or whatever. But we've had some guys that adore Colorado football. Yeah,
I walked by last year and I seen Nelly and I'm like, hey, what's up? And then all of a sudden Raekwon's sitting there. I'm like,
right.
Awesome.
Exactly.
But I wanted to get, off the football a little bit and ask you a couple of different questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, number one, if you're looking at a Mount Rushmore hip hop,
right?
Who's on it?
That's tough, man. Because you got to understand now, I'm with Keith Sweat in that R&B. Like that's my dude. I'll fight a dude by Keith Sweat, man. That's my boy. That's my dog. So I'm in there. But you got to understand, I think Wayne is the greatest ever.
I'd have to agree with you.
Wayne is the greatest ever. But I'm going to put Snoop up there because Snoop is my dog. And I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it.
Snoop?
I'm going to leave it.
And then 2 question marks?
I can't say because
just too many.
Yeah, it's too many. And I love different things in life, not just one typical thing. Keith Sweat is definitely going to be up there. I promise you that. Yeah, he's going to be up there. You know who may be up there who got a shot? Luther may have a shot. Luther Vandross. Come old school, man. I'm old school. Yeah, I'm old school.
I dig it. All right, Luther, Keith Sweat, Lil Wayne.
And Snoop.
That's
a heck of a group, man. That's a heck of a group to have over for dinner.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. And look, last question I wanted to ask you here before we wrap this up. The National Football League is where everybody in that room wants to go.
Right.
You're obviously the best player at your position ever, not trying to hype you up or nothing, as you know. I'm watching these young corners in the National Football League. There's a guy down the street, Patrick Tan Jr., who is
it was a
better
dog
than his daddy, and his daddy was legit.
He's a dog.
Who are some of the guys that you watch and then maybe watch
in the pros
and Shiloh and in the pros and go,
I don't
model after this or watch this?
Honestly, man, I'm so locked into what we do. Like when I was working with the NFL Network, I watch pros. That was my job, right? That was my occupation. Now I'm so into the college game, I barely watch NFL football because you got to understand that Sunday. We practice on Sundays. Yeah, we work. So I may catch the tail end of a game. I remember last year, one time I gave him a day off and I took my sons to the game to watch the Broncos or whatever. But I don't really watch them, but I do, I love Jalen Ramsey. It's so many guys that I really love and love how they play the game. And the thing about it, I adore them so much, I may get them in touch with them. Like Shador has spoken to multiple quarterbacks, especially he's going to talk to several more leading up to the season because I want him to glean from everybody.
Absolutely.
So he could grab something from everybody. Shiloh loves Buda Baker. So I called Boulder Baker, hey man, my son want to holler at you about this. So yeah, and whoever the kids want. Now, one of my kids today was like, Coach, you know, such. I said, he said, my defensive coach is good. I said, hey, wait the stepdad to get him. He gonna get in your butt. He gonna challenge you every minute you can fathom. I promise you. Wait till he get here.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So Coach Sapp's going to be here in March. Right?
Yeah.
Talk about Coach Warren Sapp being on the field, being able to teach.
It's crazy.
That counter chop, grabbing the hand.
He has so much in him, like so many other guys, even yourself. You have so much in him that you just want to give. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? Take it to the grave with you? You know what you're gonna do with it. So you got to get it out. You got to pour it out. And to see him last spring, just come and kick it, and during the season just meander around and get in the hot tub, with the kids and talking. He was holding shop, and you got the hot tub is full, and he's just teaching and giving moves and all that stuff is incredible. But to know that these kids going to have that on a daily basis, it's crazy, man.
Walk into Coach Sapp's office.
Yeah, but all these coaches have come. Most of them have come from the NFL, so they accompany the stories. They accompany everything. Yeah.
Where is the University of Colorado headed, Coach, under your guidance and leadership?
Under our guidance and leadership, I always include the body and the coaches and the staff and everything. We're in a very good place. We're in a place that we don't want to speak too much of because we know what we got. Like we know what we got. We know what we got. And the 2 deep depth chart right now that we could just guess is unbelievable. Like the depth of it. You would love each and every one of these linemen because they ain't playing. They have a relationship. They do everything together. They are committed to protect too. And it's unbelievable, the environment and the expectation. We did instill hope. You got to understand what we had last year, offensively and defensively, as well as the staff. We got our butts kicked twice. Every other game we had a shot. We had a shot. We had a shot, but we didn't have enough dogs. And I said it after one game. You guys didn't want to believe me. We didn't have enough dogs to secure those victories. And now we feel like we do 100%. Like you got to see them work. You got to see their intensity, the way they study, the way they're in meetings, and that it's about the staff as well because they demand excellence. And it's at a whole nother place right now, man. And I'm happy to be a part of this movement because you thought those first 3 weeks was something special. We can't wait for the whole season to be special because those first 3 weeks were iconic. There was something that you're like, oh my God,
it was insane.
We're on a train. We're on a roller coaster that's going 100 miles an hour. Like we feel like we have the propensity to have that an entire season because of the personnel, the staff, the depth that we have. We really do, man. I'm excited. I am. I'm excited.
I'm about to run through a wall in this place. So I'll tell you what. I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We're at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much. I cannot appreciate
Did we answer all the questions that needed to be answered?
I'm pretty sure we got
I just want your viewers to get what they want.
I'm pretty sure we got it. Yeah. I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show and making time. And go Buffalo.
So you know my word is good. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it.
Amen to that every time.
Yeah, I do it.
Every damn time.
I got you.
That is
God bless you, man.
And same to you, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Cool.